Allow me to remind you that you are not Jesus. And your pastors seated behind you are not Jesus. I believe, and many people who have gone to school well believe that theology is a very complex subject. Would you allow me and this committee to legislate so that all pastors must have training in theology, your history notwithstanding? That's question number one. Question number two, Pastor, the issue of financial exploitation of members of the public by some pastors, owners of churches, etc. Would you allow us and would you help us to format a way in which we can insulate Christians and Muslims and all churchgoers? We insulate them from exploitation. I know you have given us the example of saying that all the money that you have, you expend on church activities. That answer does not inspire me. It doesn't inspire me, sir, because even in the case of Jim Jones, 1978, from Koyana, when he massacred 900 Christians who believed in him, subsequent to his death, it was found that he had a network of bank accounts, secret bank accounts. Could you tell Kenyans today, following these proceedings, and on your own word, not on the word of the lawyers, whether you don't have a network of secret bank accounts? Why, my brother Ezekiel? Because, admirably, you have grown your wealth over the time of the last 11 years. You've grown your wealth from a young keyboard player in Pastor Mwiru's church and become a billionaire. According to the records that we pick from Google, you are a billionaire. Could you confirm, deny or otherwise, that these billions have either been raised from exploiting members of your church or that you're doing clean business? And if you're doing clean business, could you tell us what are those business practices? It's a fair question. It is not personal. It is intended to help us to protect the public. And the two lawyers on your either side, the reason why they are lawyers, my brother, is because there exists legislation that allows them to practice law. So if you want to protect society, to allow society to remain orderly, you must do legislation. So because of the shock of the deaths of Shakahola, we have said never again should it happen. And if it must take legislation, we want to commit ourselves to legislate. Finally, but not least, the issue of the podium being used to incite members of the public. In the name of the Lord has told me, the Lord has shown me that leader X or coalition Y or party Z is the wrong one. How can you help us to legislate so that we contain that? And I'm glad you have referred to the post-election violence of 2007. I think Shakahola is worse than the post-election violence. Because post-election violence, people were competing, but in Shakahola, the unsuspecting public, and I speak from Kakamega, where many of them have been buried in Shakahola. I have attended Virgil funerals back home in Mumias, funerals back home in Shinyalu, in Ekolomani, in Butere. Thanks to that,